My Spitfire's pink. My Spitfire's got an engine. Part 4 of my build, right here on Gary's Stuff. Hi there, I'm Gary, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. This is the fourth and penultimate part of my build of the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 9 in 1/24 scale from Airfix. Now you'll know, if you've seen the show before, that my Spitfire is slightly different in that I'm making it as an FR9 reconnaissance aircraft. So last time you saw it, it was just about to be primed. The fuselage and wings are in place and we're going to do some priming. I've also now painted it so it's pink. I've put the markings on and I've built and painted the engine, so made quite a lot of progress. If you enjoy the show, please remember, imperial thumbs up on the button below. Every time you do that, it really helps the channel be promoted by YouTube. And if you haven't done so yet, please remember, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and you'll be notified of all my future videos as they're released. And of course, if you want to make a more concrete support for the channel, you can do that through super thanks, become a member of the channel, or use any of my partner programs. So enough of all that, but one final thing, just I should point out, a lot of the sound during the video isn't great, the voice isn't great. That's because I had COVID for the last week or so. So this is a COVID build. Do enjoy. Have fun. Let's start off with painting the Spitfire.
The first thing we're going to do is make this white denser for the base of the invasion stripes and the markings. Right, I'll explain what's going on with the masks and all that. First of all, now I've already put on, you see I've started doing, I've done the layout for the invasion stripes, okay. Obviously this bit and this bit are going to be covered up because they're white, but this bit and this bit are going to be black. But you'll notice the black also impinges on where the white V for Victor ID sign is, and also where the roundel goes. So I've put these masks on now. A lot of people have asked where they come from. This is one I've got, Kit's World, set 1/24, so markings for masks for markings, whatever. There's two versions on this kit, the pink one I'm making, and a desert scheme belonging to Squadron Leader Colin Gray, who is the highest scoring Kiwi ace of the war. So you get both in the kit. Obviously these are on top of the regular stencils which come with the kit, of course. So what I've done is I've put the roundels on because I don't want the black to go into the roundel area because that's going to make it difficult to colour later. I'll just mask it off properly, spray the black on, then I'll remask the whole of the invasion stripe here because I'm going to want to protect the white as well as the black once I've done a quick coat of varnish, obviously, and then I can spray everything pink. Then when that's all done, then I can come back and use the outside of the mask here, take these off sequentially to do the red and blue, and then eventually just peel off the white and everything should be fine. That's the theory. Let's see how it goes. The other thing I do like about this set is that they give you spares for some of these masks, including this one, which is brilliant because I can use that to mask off exactly the right curve on the camera door here. That I was a bit worried about how I was going to do that, but there you go, I can do that. That's fantastic. So I've painted, you can just see the top of it there, the invasion stripes now. So now I've blocked them off, I've masked those off, and I can paint the whole thing in pink. So we're going to put the
the roundel masks on now, you just have to kind of figure out where they go. This one goes directly over this piece here. That goes just about there, I think. And then lay it around. Yeah, that looks kind of good. It sort of centres on this gun port, but sort of this side of it rather than that side of it. Just a little bit above the line of the ailerons. Yeah, that looks okay to me. And do the same for the other side. And when you've got the first one in, then you put in the successive roundel parts on the inside, and these have all got alignment marks for you, which is fine. Except sometimes the alignment isn't accurate, or you haven't placed it absolutely properly, so it is a bit of a fiddle to work your way. Just work your way around though. Just work your way around them. Eventually, it will work. But you do have to make sure that these are well pressed down, because we don't want any leakage around them. Okay, so I've got the masks now. I've masked off the rest of the aircraft because I don't want any overspill anyway. And I've taken out the middle because I'm going to do the red first, because that's the paler of the two colours. Now, it's very, very, very important you don't get rid of the thing that came out here, because you're going to put it back on again when the red's there. Take this off and then spray the blue. Okay, so we're going to do the red first. Right, all these other panels, there's flaps and the gun covers. Just going to go over them with a panel wash. Let that dry, and then about a few hours time, I'll just go over it with a cotton bud soaked in a bit of white spirit. Hair off there. Go over with a cotton bud soaked in white spirit, just to take what's on the surface off, and hopefully it should leave behind all these marks and all these fasteners and everything else. That's the plan. So this wash has been drying for a few hours now, so I'm just going to go over it very gently with a bit of white spirit, and you can see the excess just comes off, and a load of it stays in the rivets on the flap there. Just tidy it up a bit. And it's as simple as that. I mean, it is really, really good. It works really well. So we'll just keep cleaning up these pieces now. Right, so we're going to make a start on the engine. Just going to put a couple of dabs of glue on these pegs. So we're going to start with the crankcase. Now, just two parts go together like that, and we'll just put some glue in up here. It's getting a bit low, this one, and a dab of glue at the other end. Let the work its way along and just close up the halves. Now, I don't know much about the structure of aircraft. I've been told off for calling something a rib, and apparently it's quite hilarious. And a little bit more about the construction of engines. I don't know much about the construction of the Merlin. I know this is a crankcase, but that's, there's going to be things, so I'm going to say, daft things, probably. Just live with it, I don't pretend to know how to make an engine. I used to play with them when I was younger. which is how I know this is a crankcase, because this is where the piston heads sit, and there's a thing and it goes under and the crank whizzes around here, and this is like, I guess it's like a head or some sort, I don't know, main block, whatever. So if I say something daft about what it is, then you just have to forgive me. Airfix long ago stopped saying attach the rocker head cover to the top of the rockers and all this sort of stuff. They just say put part A on part B, or part 58 on part 57. So it's, and you know, if it provides some hilarity, then that's a good thing. This to me looks a bit like a sump. I might be wrong. It looks to me a bit like an oil sump, and there'd be a pump and a filter or something down here and splashing the oil around. So I'm going to call it. We put the sump on the bottom after that. Again, I'm going to use a little bit of this glue because I got told off for using too much glue. I'll probably get told off for using too much glue again in the future, but for now at least, I shall moderate my glue habit as much as I can. So there we go, that's the core of a Merlin engine basically. Yeah, let that set, get on to the next stage. Now because this is a V engine, there's two sets of cylinder blocks. This is one going on here, so you can see where the cylinders are, and these then have rocker covers that sit on top. Like so. This one has the Rolls-Royce name on it. I don't know if we can see that. Can you see that? Rolls-Royce. Of course, Rolls-Royce is still a big name in aero engine design, although these days obviously made to be turbines, jets, and these. I mean, these things are intricate. These things are not simple engines. All right, these Merlins are not like all jets and turboprops and all the rest of it. The principles are very straightforward, but the actual delivery of it as a working engine is quite complex, and I don't always understand it, but I do understand jet engines. I understand jet engines very well. So we go, it sits on there, we'll just close those up, tighten up the bolts as it were, on this cylinder head. There's another cylinder block and head to do for the other half of the engine. On this part of this cylinder head here, there's a few bits and pieces that need to go on. There's this component here. Again, I don't know what these are, and I don't know if they're not part of timing. Don't have timing belts on Merlins, as far as I'm aware. Must have somewhere. Maybe they're mechanical. Anyway, a bit irrelevant. So that's the bit that goes on there, isn't it? Yeah, upwards. Yeah, so this bit goes on next. Like that. And then there's another piece that goes on here. And there we go. Just one question I would have. In fact, I'm going to ask, and I'll see what the answer is. You know, you've got so much of this stuff that's got decals for this, that, and everything else, and yet it says paint these letters in red. These letters that are recessed here in red. Why not make that a decal if that's so
It'd be a lot easier. I don't understand that. I'll ask. These fit into the central pipe here. Again, I don't know what that's called. Now, when I was a kid, we had straight 4 engines. Didn't have V8s and V6s, no, we had straight 4s, so I don't know what this sits between the 2 banks of cylinders and actually pushes into place. It really fit very well, so just need a tiny dab of glue to make sure they stay in place. Right, the banks of cylinders can go onto the crankcase. Just think that the bell here, I don't know what it is. I suppose it's some sort of transmission, gearing or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, the bell bit goes at this end. The spiky bits, or like the accessory components, go on the other end. And the badge is on the outside. That's how to remember which way round to put the cylinder heads on. Then this bit goes in the middle. Now you can see this end is more rounded. Maybe I'll show it this way. This has got a flat end and a round end. The round end goes at the bell, next to the bell, and sits in like so. There's a couple of really small bits that need to go into the end of the cylinder block there. It's one on each side. There we go. This box comes in 2 halves. You put them together and then you slot these filler pipes, look like oil filler pipes or something, on top. Except they can't be filler caps, because the next thing they're going to do is plug into the bottom of the end of the rocker cover there and then click into the crankcase in the end. So this shroud here comes in 2 parts. You put those together, then this clips on top, then the main propeller shaft goes through like so. Then the whole lot can go onto the front of the engine, and there's so it goes on the front of the engine. Goes on the front engine. You can see there's these 2 little knobs here, go through these 2 little holes here, and the whole lot goes together like so. So there's that end complete. Now, so these pipes stick into the back of this shroud here. It's air or something, which wraps around the front gearing for the propeller shaft, and that sits over the end of the engine here. I'm going to just fill these in because I think they look ugly, and these are going to be all the rest of this is going to be black essentially, but this bit is silver, so I want to make sure that these seams are clean so it looks cool when it's done. We have a kind of filter box of some sort, I guess, to put together. Tiny bits of glue here and there. Okay. It's all all very small and all very fiddly. So that's how like the one corner of the box goes together. You can see there's like I don't know if it's the inlet or outlet of the filter there at the bottom. There's a little bobble here that tells you that should be at the bottom as well, and then these lines meet up to form a shelf that the top part is going to sit on. I'm going to guess this is the supercharger, turbo supercharger, whatever supercharger body. Anything this sort of shape looks like it should be a turbocharger of some sort.
This goes on this side here, like so. There we go, like this. Then the filter box goes on like so. Then the whole thing can go on the back of the engine like so. Okay, this is part of the air inlet induction pipes, whatever. This is good. There's no locating pins to these, which is quite surprising. So you just have to be very, very careful about where you put them. But it does line up. It does line up. There we go. There's another assembly of bits and pieces to go together here. This piece goes on there, and then this piece goes on the side there. Well, there's this assembly here. There's two pieces here have been joined together, then a third piece is joined on the side like so. Then these all go together go together on the front of this. And maybe these are the carburetor. Is that a carburetor? Is that the carburetor? I wonder. I don't know. Anyway, they'll go together like that. Then this piece goes in here, like so. This part comes in here. Then there's a piece here that goes in. Like so. Then the whole lot goes on the back of the engine. Thus. Right, so this is the bulk of the engine complete. There's other bits and pieces, and there's going to be scoops, and there's going to be structures, and all sorts of, and a few more ancillary bits and pieces around the edge. But by and large, that's complete. So what I'm going to do now is make sure the seams are done nicely, and then I'll spray this with primer, spray it with black, and see about trying to do a bit of weathering on it maybe, and get this as like the basic engine, and then start adding the rest of the components as we go and pre-paint them. There's things like the fuel feeds here that need painting further, and there's other bits and pieces. Of course, eventually we're going to have the exhaust stubs as well. But that's where it is at the moment. So now we've got this painted up first, we're done the initial paint work on it. We're just going to keep adding the ancillary pieces, bits and pieces. There's quite a lot of them. Just work your way around, follow the instructions, work your way around. Okay, so here we've got this big pipe. This piece goes on there. This pipe connects to this part here. Comes over. Then these sort of injectors or whatever they are go into between the inlet. I guess between the inlet manifolds. Is that what those are? Inlet manifolds? I don't know. But anyway, they go in there, and then there's another row of them. We go on the other side, and then that whole thing sticks together. So we'll do one side first and then get the other side in. So with all the ancillaries on, for the moment at least, this is what you end up with, a Merlin engine. I will give it a bit of a wash with some weathering stuff later. I'll see how that goes. But otherwise, yeah, there it is, Merlin engine. So, go to prepare the fuselage now, and then we use this to build the the frame for it. Use this as the template. Build the frame, pop the engine in, put all the rest of the pipework in, and then that should be that. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this side of the frame on first. Okay, so it's got something to grab on, as it were. Then we mustn't glue these on now, because otherwise we won't be able to get them off later. So that side goes on, then the other side goes on as well. It's difficult to sort of hook that onto, like that, and it goes onto there. There we go. So those go on like that. That goes on like that, and then we put these into place. Actual engine mountings go into place. Like so. There we go. So they sit on the engine mounting points, but the only thing that's actually being attached is this yoke to the sides. Then after that, then at the back is this bracing part. It slots into the back of the yoke there, and it's got a couple of tabs in the main members here, like that and that, and it glues into there. These pipes are quite a pain to do, so what I've done is I've fed it through this side first, through this hole, and then sort of worked it back up through here. You will need to bend this quite some way to make it fit, but it will fit. The other side is a lot easier, because as you can see, you've got like, it's got to go around there, and that's a nightmare. This side it's a lot easier because there's no post here, so it just sort of slots through basically. In this case, it connects. You can see there's a bulge on the pipe, fitting on the pipe, and then a position here on the piece, and they sort of line up, and then it's like that, and then there's a piece over there that they line up like that. So it's kind of like that, really. This next piece, you can see it's got a cutout here, and that goes onto there, so it hooks over the front, that cross member, and it sits in there like so. Okay, so it sits on the cross member here, also the support strut here, and the front pipe goes over the front cross member. These are not the easiest things to follow, I will say that. Now we're going to let this dry and set, because the next stage is to put this into the front of the aircraft. Okay, so now we put all the connection points in for the engine mounting. The brass pipes go through holes at the sides, down at the bottom in the main spar there, and then the bottom mounting points push in. Just needs to go in a little bit more. There we go. Whew, that's a bit of a worry. Right, so that's the main engine mounting in. Now leave that alone. And this sort of split pipe here has to go through the main spar as well. There we go. It sits into that sort of area there. This is going to be really complicated, but we got it. Anyway, let's have a look. So there we go. Here you've got on each side you've got these pipes connecting to the front end, and then this front mounting block has to go into that. That's the first thing to set in place, I guess. So on this side you've got the pipe comes into this block here. There's a mounting point here and there's a mounting point here, and those need to all be in the right place. So there it is, there's the engine in. The aircraft has been painted and panel washed. I've done the engine and put that in. All that we need to do now is the front cowlings, propeller, the door, the camera door, aerial, the stencils, and that will be pretty much the plane finished. So that's going to be on the next video. So there it is, looking grand, I have to say, looking really very, very nice. I'm growing to like this kit every day more and more. It's really quite bizarre how I started off thinking, oh, it's quite a piece of kit to do, or I'm not sure about this, and and now I just think, right, no, stuff everything else I've got to do, let me get back to my Spitfire. It's quite fun. If you've enjoyed the show, please remember, imperial thumbs up on the like button below, and if you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and you'll be notified of all the future videos on my channel as they turn up, which will include the next installment of the Spitfire, which will be the final part of the build. I'll be doing the cowlings, I'll be doing the undercarriage, finishing off the cockpit, doing the camera door, and just generally tidying it up. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Hope you can join me next time. Take very good care. Goodbye.